Winterspell is only a week away, so that means it's time for my top 10 cards you should buy from the set. But before we get into it, I want to remind everyone to please like this video and subscribe to the Sorcerer's Hat for more Disney Lorcana content. I post brand new videos every Friday. Alright, let's talk about some cards. First up is the early boogeyman of the format, and that's Grandmother Willow, Ancient Advisor. She is an uninkable 2-cost Amber character card with 1 strength, 2 willpower, and she quests for 1. She has 1 ability, Smooth the Way. Once during your turn, you pay 1 ink less for the next character you play this turn. While this looks similar to cards like Pluto, it's a bit more powerful than that. When paired with other low-cost Amber cards, you have the potential to just flood the board really early on in a way that your opponent won't be able to come back from. The good news is, if you're worried about this card though, is that you can still play stuff like Fire the Cannons to counter it. However, it still has the potential to run away with the game, and it's also uncommon, so it will be a really easy card to get your hands on. Next up, we have Pudge, Controls the Weather. This is an inkable 2-cost Amber character card with 1 strength, 3 willpower, and he quests for 1. He has 1 ability, Good Friend. If you have a character named Lilo in play, you can play this character for free. Amber decks have a lot of choices when it comes to low-cost Lilo cards, and this set adds even more, which means that Pudge is pretty easy to play out for free. When paired with the Grandmother Willow card we just talked about, Pudge has the potential to help you flood the board incredibly early on, in a way that just will be very difficult for your opponent to combat if they don't have the proper tools. And just like that last one, this card is also an uncommon, so it will be really easy to get a hold of. Next up, we have Genie, Magical Researcher. This is an inkable 3-cost Amethyst character card with 3 strength, 4 willpower, and he quests for 1. He has Boost for 1, and 1 ability, Increasing Wisdom. This character gets +1 lore for each card under him. This card, when paired with the Emerald cards that help boost characters for free, really helps out Amethyst Emerald tempo decks. The weakest part of this card is the stats, but for the most part, you're playing this, boosting it, and then hoping to use some of your other cards to help boost it up for more lore before your opponent can respond. On average, I could see this questing for 2 to 3 lore, and on various special occasions, up to 4. This is a very fun card for a specific type of deck, and it will probably see a lot of play in Amethyst Emerald. Next, we have Tigger, Bouncing All the Way. He's an inkable 4-cost Amethyst character card with 4 strength, 3 willpower, and he quests for 1. He has 1 ability, Splendiferic Bounce. When you play this character, you may return chosen character, item, or location with cost 2 or less to their player's hand. Ever since Cloud Kicker got rotated out of Core Constructed, we haven't had a bounce effect on a character that specifically combated aggro decks, but what makes Tigger really interesting is that he can target items and locations as well. But also, he can target your own characters. So you could use this to bounce one of your opponent's cards, or if you're playing Amethyst Steel, you could do something like bounce your own Dock Bold Knight and replay it. So this has a lot of utility, and overall I think this is a pretty cool card that I could see seeing a lot of play in a variety of decks. Next is Belle, Snowfield Strategist. She's an inkable 4-cost Sapphire character card with 2 strength, 3 willpower. She quests for 2. She has 1 ability, Winter Stockpile. Whenever one of your characters is banished, you may put that card from your discard into your inkwell face down and exerted. This card is fairly versatile and pays in dividends. You can use Belle to combat board wipes by making your opponent ramp you a bunch just by wiping your board. You can play Belle right before you make some trades so that your characters can ramp you as they go out. You can play this on turn 4 and hope your opponent used removal on it, since Belle can ramp herself when she's removed as well. All in all, this is a great card for basically all Sapphire decks, and it will see play. The Enchanted is also really, really good looking. Next up is Angel, Experiment 624. She's an inkable 4-cost Steel character card with 3 strength, 3 willpower. She quests for 1, and she has 2 abilities. The first one is Untouchable. While you have no cards in your hand, this character gains Resist 2, and her second ability is Good Aim. Once during your turn, you may choose and discard a card to deal 2 damage to chosen character. This card goes really well in something like Sapphire Steel and pairs well with a card like Goliath. Goliath helps you draw some cards, which can then be easily dumped either by playing or using Angel's ability to do 2 damage. This card also works really well against aggro and can help you get some better trades in different matchups as well. I don't think you'll really see her in other steel decks other than maybe some kind of amethyst steel build, but ultimately I think she works best in sapphire steel. This is a pretty cool card, and I actually cannot wait to try it out. Next, we've got Minnie Mouse, Mrs. Cratchit. She is an inkable 5-cost emerald character card with 3 strength, 4 willpower, and she quests for 2. She has ward and 1 ability, A Mother's Love. When you play this character, you may put the top card of your deck face down under one of your characters or locations with boost. If you do, draw a card. I like this card a lot, and it goes really well in Amethyst Emerald boost and tempo decks. She lets you boost a character and also draw a card just by playing her, which is always good. And she has ward to protect her and let her quest for 2 next turn. Also, since she's a 5-cost, she can sing a lot of really impactful songs. So, I mean, what's not to love? I think this is a really, really great card, and it's going to see you play in Emerald decks for sure. Next up is probably my favorite card of the set so far. This is Pete, Ghost of Christmas Future. Once again, I'm gonna be that guy. Christmas Carol is one of my favorite books of all time. It's the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, not the Ghost of Christmas Future. I will die on this hill, Ravensburger. Anyways, Pete, Ghost of Christmas Future, he's an inkable 5-cost sapphire character card with 5 strength, 5 willpower. He quests for 1. He can boost for 1, and he has 1 ability, Foreboding Glance. Whenever this character quests, look at a number of cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards under him. Put 1 into your hand and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Pete's ability is incredibly strong. He lets you not only draw a card or put a card in your hand, since we have to get very specific about that, but he also lets you filter what you draw every turn. And on top of that, he's well statted and can fight back if need be. Honestly, this card is a contender for one of the best cards in the entire set. He will be played in every Sapphire deck, basically, and I like him a lot. Next up, we finally got a board wipe again. This is Raging Storm. This is an uninkable 8-cost Amber action card that just reads Banish All Characters. This card pretty much only goes in Amber Sapphire, unfortunately, but I'm sure people will find creative ways to use it. It's strictly worse than Be Prepared, as it isn't a song and it costs 1 more ink, but it's nice to see a board wipe in the core format once again. This also means that come next rotation in August, we'll be going into it with a board wipe still in format, which is a really nice thing to hear. So if you plan on trying out Amber Sapphire at some point, I'd recommend picking up some copies of this. And finally, we have Kristoff's Lute. This is an uninkable 3-cost ruby item that reads Moment of Inspiration. Exert this card and pay 2 ink. Reveal the top card of your deck. You may play it as if it were in your hand, otherwise put it in your discard. I've been playing around with this a bit on a red-blue deck, and it works pretty well when you have the ink for it. I could see this card being incredibly good in Infinity in the future, especially with more ways to cheat out items. It's probably going to be hard to play this card in decks that can't also ramp, but when it hits, this card is amazing, so don't sleep on it. And that's it for my top 10 cards you should buy from Winterspell. Are there any cards that I didn't talk about that you think should have been on this list? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe to the Sorcerer's Hat for more Lorcana videos. I post a new one every single Friday. I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye. Love you.